Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today. I'm just over the moon about today. If you can see, if you know who this is Corey from Cape Cod.
Cape Ann, Bridge Cape Ann. We're the other Cape in Massachusetts, Cape Ann. So,
Cape Ann.
yeah.
If I could just get them right, I'm pretty sure somebody out there would be happy with me. But
No, so the
anyways,
easy reference is Salem. Everyone knows Salem, the Salem
yes.
witches. So that and north of that is Cape Ann. Below that, south of Boston, Cape Cod.
Okay, and that's what your channel is, Cape Ann.
Yeah, we're Bridge Cape Ann.
Bridge Cape Ann. There we go. I really knew. So
It's a
anyway.
tough.
Yes, so I'm gonna have him talk about what he does on his channel for sure here in just a second, but I'm gonna get you guys really excited. You see, this will be the first time he is going to do tarot cards with a tarot reader, and he has on his channel hasn't done any of that. He always has somebody, a psychic on or somebody that does that, and so he's never participated. So I've invited him to my channel. And I see it in him. I feel it in him. I know he's got the talent. So we're going to put that a little bit to the test, and we're going to do some political readings. But before we do that, Corey, please let us know what you do on your channel and how can people get there.
Well, so it's called Bridge Cape Ann, and Cape Ann are 4 communities in Northeast Massachusetts. Gloucester, if you're familiar with like The Perfect Storm or Wicked Tuna or Coda, the Oscar winner last year, those all took place here. It's a big fishing village. Rockport, Manchester by the Sea, which was another big movie ages ago, and Essex, Massachusetts. And I work with small business owners, nonprofits, community groups, and I help promote them in the area. And I connect them to one another, so thus Bridge Cape Ann. So I've had the YouTube channel forever, but all I would do is I would run around with my iPhone and do little like testimonial videos or side by sides with a shop owner and talk about what was going on and post it on YouTube. But obviously, there isn't a hyper local following on YouTube. So I would just put my draft videos there to share them with a client for approval, and then I would just kind of let the video sit there. But I also have worked with psychics and folks from the area who wanted to reach a larger audience, and I was always preaching YouTube and Instagram as a platform. And so I was doing shows with Annette Dion, psychic Annette Dion, on the shows. Like we did dozens and dozens of shows, and it turned into I worked with an astrologer. Sheila, you came on the show one time, the cool collaborations. And I didn't know about this metaphysical phenomena on YouTube. So I've been learning a lot along the way, which is great. And so that's how this friendship started. And people have been sort of egging me on for months now to do tarot or try tarot. And so here we are, giving it a shot.
And I get the first dibs. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody will want to know, are you married, not married, children, dog, cat? What are you?
Yeah, married, been together for about 15 years. We no children. We're dog owners. My wife's a veterinarian, so we always have opportunities to take in other dogs. Right now, we have a 180 plus pound English Mastiff named Bubba, who's also star of my channel. Incidentally, people just want to watch him eat giant sweet potatoes and carrots all the time, so we feed him nonstop there. And yeah, living here in Gloucester, Massachusetts, love it. I was born and raised here. I did radio, stand-up comedy, wrote for comedians for years, worked in Hollywood for a long time, came back here about 10 or 12 years ago and started Bridge Cape Ann. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Very cool. And I know that I have voted for sure on sweet potato for the doggy to eat. So I always vote sweet potato because that's my favorite. All right, hun. So here we go. Stay tuned. Make sure you stay here. We got a lot coming. All right. So first up, everybody knows about the Tennessee Senate, which just recently, I mean, within the hour, I think maybe hour and a half, they have removed Rep. Justin Jones from his committees, from being in the as a representative, a Democratic representative. So here's the rub on that. In 30 days, they get to have a they have 30 days to start a new race. So they have 30 days to do that, and he can run again. And what he can't do is be removed for the same crap he was removed from there. So he can run again. He can become the Democratic rep again for Tennessee. There's two other ones that they were wanting to remove. I don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to just make an example out of him, seeing how it goes. I don't know. But they've been having, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Tennessee has been having a lot of protests because of the shooting that happened there, where a person who went into a church who then unalived 6 people. I mean, we not only lost 6 people in the church, we lost, the shooter too. And this is the reason why I'm saying this, because it was just came to me the other day. I was like, we lost 7 people that day because they unalived her. In long story. Anyways, because her mental illness could have been fixed, but her solution that day as treatment was a gun. So we lost 7 people because she could easily get a hold of a gun instead of treatment, mental health treatment. So a gun is easier than a doctor's office. So anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a reading on whether Justin Jones is going to be reinstated as a Democratic rep after 30 days and running his race again, and see if he's going to win his race. So out your cards, mister. Here we go.
All right, away we go.
Away we go. And remember, your way of reading is your way of reading. There is no right, wrong, or indifferent. So just remember that. Never apologize for your style. That's some advice from me.
I might be all style, no substance. We're gonna find out real quick.
We're gonna find out real well. And I'm gonna give you the courtesy because you're my guest. You will go first on your reading. So, are you ready?
Right. I am.
All right. Well, then you go for it. If you've already laid out your cards, and you go for it. What do you got?
Well, so here's my first question. How should I be laying them out for this?
It's totally up to you. So do you know the Celtic cross?
Yes.
So you can do that. Or what I do sometimes is I will lay 4 out on the top, and then I'll have clarifiers underneath that, and I'll lay 4 below it. Wow. So like with my, you hear that?
No.
There's a noise.
Is there a dance club upstairs? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay, so what do you got?
All right, so I have the 8 of Pentacles, right? And studious, and to me, this represents that work is being done for his reinstatement. He wants to be reinstated. I have that. I have then the Empress. And to me, I wonder if there is a woman in high office and political power who is going to help make this happen, if that's already happening there or not. I have the Magician, and to me, this isn't going to be easy to happen again, and it's going to take special effort from constituents in order to bring this person back to where he was in the public eye, because it's getting pretty muddy right now. The King of Wands. How am I doing, Sheila?
Perfect.
Really?
I'm excited.
King of Wands, I almost feel like this is the anticipation of what's about to happen. I think there could be laws or progress that's now delayed because of what's going on right now. And so there's sort of like this holding pattern. This thing, if people wait for next steps. 5 of Pentacles. I see hurt and not wanting to leave the job unfinished and walking away and not wanting that to happen. 10 of Wands, which means he feels the burden, but he is willing to put forth the work effort and do what it takes. And it's going to be it could be a slugfest, but he's going to sort of trudge his way through these next 30 days or so and try to gain back trust of the state. His folks are on his side, but something like this, there's definitely been a hit taken. So I have the Page of Wands. So I feel he at least is going to be directed properly and take the right steps to get back in the good graces of folks and do it properly and with tact. So perhaps taking the high road here might be the safest bet. And then I have the Four of Pentacles, which to me almost looks like a return to office.
Very nice. Very nice. Holding on to his position. Very, very nice. So they removed him for bogus reasons. It's because he stood with his constituents and because they were protesting and he just stood with them. There was no violence. There was nobody got hurt. But that's what they got really mad at, is because he stood with his people that were protesting. So yeah, you were right on the money. Good job. Ooh. And with mine, I got the lay low, right? The rest, the 30 days, the rest, and then the grief around that. And so the people that are his constituents, they're really, it's painful. They're in grief. They're just very, very upset about him being removed. And the King of Pentacles shows up with the Sun. So he's going to start getting lots of money, and he's going to be, people are going to support him for getting back into office as well. And here's the one that really confused me, was the Two of Swords is choices, mental choices, thinking choices. And then I see walking away. So I thought, oh no, is he not going to get back in? But I think that it's like letting go. He was let go, the choices to be made that represented that. But the outcome of this is Fools. That means the younger generation right there represents the younger generation. And then the Page of Swords, they're going to collect. And I have a feeling he's going to go back in. They're going to all be the ones that really, really get in there and make sure that he goes back into office and vote him back in. I mean, his play, I mean, it was very democratic where he came from the get-go. So, I mean, they obviously put him in there, and he just made himself even a martyr. Like they took out who they chose, right? Now they're going to make sure that he gets back in. So I think that's exactly it. Good job.
Interesting.
Good job.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm shuffling.
Okay, so next up is Mr. Vice President Pence, right? So he didn't want to go talk to the January 6th committee because, you know, they're not legit, whatever his excuse was. But now Jack Smith has subpoenaed him. He fought it for a minute, and then he got turned down, and he's not going to fight it anymore. And he has agreed to go talk and go testify in front of the grand jury with Jack Smith, who is investigating all of this. So what we want to do is we want to read on what information, what can he give to Jack Smith? What is the power behind the knowledge of the Pence? So if you've already shuffled and laid out your cards, you're more than welcome to go ahead and start reading.
All right, so Sheila, I start off with the Judgment card. So the day has arrived, right? I mean, this has been highly anticipated for how many months on end now? So the day is finally here. It's time to pay the piper, right, so to speak. Then I have the Sun. So now I feel like this is, right, sunlight's always the best disinfectant. And so now here we go. We're actually going to see some grand reveals now that people have been waiting for a long time. And he's going to have to cough some things up that he probably didn't want to for quite some time. I then have the Moon. We're howling at the Moon now. So I almost feel as though there's going to be a lot of outside noise here. And we know Pence is going to be a target for a lot of this stuff, and he's going to have to try to block that out the best he can. I don't know if it's possible because there's going to be a lot of outside influence here, and I think it's going to be pretty unsteady. Thinking about what the ramifications might be from having to do this. The Tower card. So I wonder. Yeah, well, I think some heads may roll because of this. I think this might be, this is going to carry a lot of weight where up to this point, we know how serious some of these things have been, and things have been brushed aside or are not taken so seriously. This is unavoidable now. And what's going to happen is going to be real, and real people, real names are going to fall because of this. The Devil.
I love your cards.
So right. So I think this almost, to me, this almost represents what the black cloud that overhangs everything here, right? And I think people are sort of, well, worry of what's going to happen here. Will this further divide an already divided nation? What else am I getting? It's tough because we know what the hardcore Trumpers are going to say about all of this, and they're not going to waver in any way. And I think Pence is very well aware of this, and it's a pretty ballsy move that he's going to have to go through. If he actually walks his truth and goes through this the way he should, we shall see. The Hermit. Maybe the best thing after this is all said and done is he becomes a hermit. We don't see or hear from him for a little bit. Maybe that might be the safest route. I say route coming from the East Coast, or route out of things here. So that's interesting. We're back to the Five of Pentacles. So I think even once this testimony is said and done, I think he's going to feel the weight of that. I think the nation feels the weight of that. I think his family, his constituents feel that. It's all of this is unfortunate and sad and brutal to have to go through, and this has been going on for so long now. So I think this paints a pretty accurate picture of just how we've all felt, how everyone's been dragged through this and have questioned things that haven't been questioned in a long time, right? The pillars of our institutions and democracy itself. So it got shaken to its core. Two of Cups. So I wonder if we can start to reconcile once everyone sort of comes to terms with this and the light shows everything that did happen. And we start to get some real hard truths we have to deal with. And I think folks on both sides of the coin, and red state, blue state, you name it, at some point there's going to have to be a reconciliation here, because life does go on and we have to work with each other one way or another.
Very nice. Very, very nice. That last card kind of makes me think that he has to go in with a heavy heart, and is he going to tell the truth or he's going to lie? And I think he meets them with respect as much as he gets met with respect. They're going to respect each other. That's kind of what I felt at that last card. So, I've done some remote views with Pence, and he grapples with everything that had happened, and he believes in God and a religious body. And in the remote view, he was talking to his higher power. And of course, I jump out. I will not be involved in somebody talking to their higher power and all that. And it was just very kind of heartening that he has to do this. Now, I'm not an advocate of him. I am not, Pence could have done a lot more, and he didn't. So I have that. So here's the conflict of inside of him. He is literally conflicted. He has the worst battle ever inside of him, which he should. I mean, he should have stopped. He knew better. He knew what was going on. He was very, very conflicted, and he's even more conflicted now about going to tell. He said something that really, for the first time I think he ever spoke out loud the truth, was this country deserves to know the truth. He said that before he was going in. I was like, for the first time, finally, somebody says this country deserves the right to know. And so his confliction. But what's going over top of him is that juggling of the how to get himself out. He's going to have to go in there with a little bit of, I don't want to get in trouble for this. So he has this juggling thing. What do I say? How do I say it? Am I going to do it the right way? You know, I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to be put in the bad light. So he still has a little bit of it, that little ego going, and he has his lawyers working on it. He's looking for, you know, a better life, a better way of, and hopefully he wants to probably go forward in politics. And I think you're right. I think it ends right here, right now. I think your cards were pretty good about that, because mine says the same thing. He knows the separation of his career in politics is over. I also got the burden. He's very burdened with the information. He's burdened with the truth, right? He's burdened with all of this information he can give to this country so that it could be all settled. And then the power core, the discipline that he has to be disciplined somehow, or he's going to get disciplined or something. There's something in there about some strong discipline, and that was really confusing me. I also had the Queen of Cups coming, that creative, the visionary. I think he's going to have to be creative in what he says. I think he's that way, right? He's still a Republican. At the end of the day, he's still a Republican, but he has some breaking heart information, some stuff that's really going to break some heart. And charity. And here's the charity. This is what I like to see at the end, is he's going to give what is needed. And the charity part, the just giving the January 6th every information that is needed. He's not going to hold back. And he's going to, at the end, so we have 10, the 11th and 12th house. We have his family. He's going to hang his family. Not literally, but you know what I mean? His party is not going to be very happy with him. He's going to give some information that's going to be devastating. So.
Fascinating.
Very fascinating. All right, so we kind of know what Pence is going to do. Now we have Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas. Have you heard about him yet?
Not the latest.
Okay, he's one of the demons that are on the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah.
Justice Clarence and his wife is the one that tried to do everything she could to make sure that Trump got reinstated as president, you know. So here's what they have found out through their investigation is Mr. Clarence Thomas has been wined and dined by a very, very important, rich Republican for a very, very long time. Boats, boat trips, dinners, this, that. I mean, he's been wined and dined by this guy. Okay, so that's what came out. And as soon as that came out, one of the senators on our side has already started an investigation on him. So I want to just do a general what's going to happen to Clarence Thomas in the near future.
Okay.
Just a general blanket on that. So let's go ahead and do that. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
All right.
Shuffling, shuffling. And lay that out. Very interested in see what your cards have to say about Mr. Clarence Thomas, especially because I know you're probably going in as cold as possible.
Ice. They call me ice.
Ice. Cold. That's those are perfect. And I know that you're getting it straight from spirit. So that's the best part. My cards are so used to the Republicans, you know, the devil shows up often. You know what I mean?
Are you just sage cleansing your cards after every?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we're talking about the devil again. All right. All right. If you got yours laid down, go for it.
I do. All right. So I do have the Page of Wands to begin. And this makes me wonder if it's literally time to almost stand up and be accountable for what's gone on here. And there are some things that are just like we almost said the last time around, like you can't avoid the truth at some point. You can keep covering and covering and covering, but at some point, there are going to be fissures in there and cracks, and then the truth is eventually going to reveal itself. I have the Fool.
Ooh.
And I think once things are revealed, I think he's gonna be pretty brazen about it, regardless of how it makes him look. Because you're basically caught red-handed. 10 of Wands. So it's something he's gonna have to live with. But deep down, he knows he's, I mean, he's been bought and paid for so long now, that you got to go really, really deep into someone's soul to try to find a little avenue to repent, essentially. And I don't know if it's within, I think he'll just keep the facade up. He's done it for this long. The King of Wands. And so let me see what I'm getting here. I almost feel as though this is the Supreme Court itself. And what direction are we going in? Are we going to keep continuing to just be bought and sold, bought and paid for, and work in ways that this was not originally structured to work? And it's become so politicized that and these decisions have been so corrupt for so long. At some point, these things have to stop. I almost feel like it's like justice is actually on trial here at the end of the day. The Nine of Wands. And I almost feel like this is the as if the American public we're untrusting of the process, the people within the process, how things are functioning. And I think they feel wounded by it and suspicious. Strength, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's our resolve as a democracy, as those of us who believe in and trust in justice. I think this, you can't stop America, right? It's only those institutions that are in place are going to stay with us forever. So it's hard, even when our largest institutions seem to be conspiring and working against us, you still can't get past the basic tenets of what makes our country great. So we can always rely on our strength. The Hermit, once again, this could be another guy who eventually disappears and maybe never comes back, or maybe the type of crime going on here. If I want to think nefariously for a second, maybe it's just better hidden. I don't know, but I'm actually leaning more towards that than Thomas taking off.
Maybe he wished it was hidden.
Yeah. Well, and then the six of Wands. This almost feels like the hubris of someone gets caught, someone gets tossed. They kind of go out on their high horse anyway, to their little faction and their followers, and ride out the rest of their lives. But the trail that you left behind will always follow you. And good riddance is what I'm getting from that too.
Yeah, like we won the battle. Definitely. Ironically, I got the Six of Wands for the ending as well.
Oh, wow.
So the Six of Wands, and I also got the Rest. Did you get Rest? Did you get the Four of Swords?
I did not know.
You did not? Okay. But I showed you all the way at the ending. But I also got that public recognition. The Six of Wands is that public recognition, that victory, that winning, that significant battle. Because what we have here is an emperor who has been buddied up with a whole bunch of teamwork, right? He had a team behind him trying to get him to do everything. He was never a supreme justice on his own. He's always been bought and paid for. He was he's never stood on his own and his own decisions. And that's kind of what the emperor with the team behind him means. We also have the high priestess and the defending the territory, and then suspicions. So there has been some people behind the scenes like, we need to fight for this. We need to get back there and figure out what it is. Or they've always been suspicious of him. They were always trying to figure out how to out him. There has been lots like, this is enough, this is enough. So somebody has literally been giving information, which is really, really nice after the investigation. But at the end of the day, they all go back into thieving and lying and cheating. The choices to be made, but he stays, the liar stays. And but at the end is the public recognition. And I see he either leaves, quiets down, goes away, or God forbid, but passes away. And I've been feeling that from quite a while too, is maybe this is a silencing of for the good and the all. That we don't want that for anybody. This is for entertainment purposes only, but the cards do come up and kind of say things like that sometimes. And it could be going away, but I doubt it. His ego is just too big for him to step down. So their only other option is the other one, right? Either he gets removed or he gets removed. Right? So that's Mr. Clarence, but he's hit public recognition. His legacy is crap now. He has no good legacy at the end of the day with the people and what he's been doing. So, all right.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. So the next up is Florida. I want to know how the Florida people are starting, because DeSantis is just going balls to the wall with all of his crap. I mean, I don't know if he can come up with any worse things to do to people. That really, I mean, he could probably, murdering people in the streets is probably his next game. But he literally, I don't know the exact whole story, but something about how somebody came against him, and his punishment towards this female is that he took the child out of the home. He got her house raided. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff just because she went against DeSantis on either a post or something along that lines. And so he came and literally took the 13, and the child is disabled. So took him. So I want to know what Florida, how they're feeling about their little DeSatan right now. How is the Florida people, how can they allow this to go on? But let's see how they're really feeling about DeSatan.
All right. All right, Sheila, right off the bat. So I have the Justice card. I mean, at some point, there's only so much people can take where it's obvious that the wrong person's in charge. And you can't keep marginalizing group after group after group and not expect it to come back and blow back in your face. And it's blown back in his face tenfold. You have the Three of Swords, right? And so it almost feels like it's the trauma the state's gone through, right? I mean, it has not been an easy few years for Florida, right? One disaster after the next, whether it's been natural, political, you name it. I do have the Star card. So I almost wonder if this is going back to the drawing board or back to the basics, or is it almost like time for citizens to stand up and almost feel spurred to participate more and not let things like this go quietly? Not see these long, drawn-out debacles with the same players in place year after year after year. And I think it almost feels to me like participating at the very local level, because we've seen this happen before. We've seen both parties, they're planting people on school boards, and they're starting in very, very hyper local areas to influence things on a larger scale. It's very, very savvy. I have the Page of Cups. Well, and if to me, it almost feels as if I think the citizens have to realize how much power they actually have within themselves to affect change. But they have to want to make that happen. The Knight of Cups. Lots of cups, Sheila. So, I mean, I always find this too, especially with large populations, is people, they covet leadership in a good leader. And it almost feels to me as though they've been waiting for a knight in shining armor to come and help through this. I don't know if that's happening, but I think this is part of a problem in Florida is maybe they've been waiting too long for something like this to happen. And maybe it's a movement and not a person. I do have the Magician. This is tough for me. I don't know what exactly to make of this. I wonder if it's almost, well, it is a very religious state. I wonder if people are seeking help from above, help from a higher power. I think it's looking within themselves as well too. I think it always comes back to taking your town, your county, your country back. And I wonder if this, we're really truly part of a seismic movement once again politically that we saw, maybe in during the Vietnam era, certainly during the world wars. Are we literally in the throes of something like that now? We're going to see huge changes in how people participate, or how government functions for people moving forward. The Fool. Again, there's only so many times that you can be caught with your pants down and try to look down your nose upon people as if there's nothing to see here and get away with it. And I just think people have had enough. And lastly, the Queen of Cups.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if at the end of the day, they're just, he goes, I think maybe there is there might be a special person to come in and maybe DeSantis' successor might be the right kind of medicine for that area. Maybe I don't know if anyone's rising through the political ranks in Florida, but like DeSantis' days are done. So is there someone here who can help actually move the needle forward for folks down there?
Yeah, maybe, or he's just breaking the hearts of all the mothers.
Could be, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you start messing with mothers and emotions towards their children, you might as well just walk away, because moms will protect.
Oh yeah.
I also got the people are really worried. But there's one half of them are worried, but the other half is all about first stage, trying to insert DeSantis as president. I did a remote view that DeSantis does not believe he's going to be elected. He thinks he's going to be inserted. So there's something that he had a movement and he believes that he's going to be inserted. Now, the judgment on that is self-imposed judgment. They did it to themselves. And I think they're starting to realize that, we did this to ourselves. This is self-imposed, and the judgment that they're having against that. And then I also have the happy family, or the family with the King of Cups. So this is really weird, because this almost makes me think that we would be happier under Democratic Party, right? This has always been my Joe Biden card, King of Cups for Joe Biden. And so I'm thinking maybe they're thinking that maybe we should have picked a Democrat. I wish we had a Democratic leader. I wish we had, but this is like only half. Like half is all happy about the cruelty. The other half is really worried about the cruelty. So it's only half, like they're not all there yet. I also got some people are heartbroken, the other ones are doing nothing. So the Florida is still incredibly split at this point in time. I guess this one right here, self-imposed, we're doing it to our state, and this one, I guess, could be judgment against that. I don't know. But they're very, very split right now. So I keep on waiting for that split to you one way or another. It's got one way or another, they're going to stop being split and they're going to come together. I was kind of hoping which way it would go. So I try to do some reading on that every once in a while, take a temperature of that.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
Sheila, when you say come together, do you mean eventually like in the color sense, like purple? Like in that
Maybe.
way, like is that yeah?
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe. I'm hoping purple and I'm hoping more blue. But he has such a following down there that is really enjoying the cruelty he's handing out.
Hmm.
They have gotten addicted to the cruelty. They have gotten addicted to the lies, to the abuse that DeSantis just keeps on hammering. I mean, goodness gracious, we enjoyed how Disney just bowled him over. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I laughed so hard.
yeah. You,
Like
you don't
you
want to
thought
fight
you could,
Disney.
yeah, don't mess with Disney. Disney are
No.
like, oh, all you can do, you got to keep the streets and all that. So we'll see if you can get that done. But you're not making any major decisions on how we handle our business, Mr. DeSatan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a first round knockout right there.
Yep. I hope they make a movie with him, DeSatan, as Lord, you know. I hope they make a movie that he's the evil one
Yeah.
and they call him like Mr. D or something.
Yeah, he'd be in the yeah, he's wearing the black hat for sure.
Exactly. Oh, Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, with a twist of the mustache.
Exactly. All right, honey. So do you have any of your oracle cards around you?
No.
No? That's okay. I was gonna do one little oracle card for everyone but you can use your whatchamacallit cards too if you wanted to. Just
Can
pull
I?
a card for yeah. Pull a card for everyone because we are at the den. You did done. We are at the den. What was that? We are at the end.
Yeah.
And you did so great. I'm so excited. You did great. You listened to your intuition. You read what you felt. It was coming in. It was great. You
I
did.
could feel you holding my hand throughout all that, Sheila. So much
Oh,
appreciated.
well, I have no power in that. All I could do is support your energy. That's all I could do is
Mm.
throw good energy at you and keep you back in play.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we are going to do this more often, get you more and more um, comfortable because you're really a good reader. I
Oh,
really
thank
want
you.
you to know that. And that is
I'm a work
something
in progress.
that's something I felt from the moment I've met you on screen. I was like, that he's a reader.
Mm.
I thought you were one anyway. Remember I was like, well, when are you gonna give us your advice? Why are you being so quiet?
They're like, no, no, yeah, I'm just the game show host here. I'm Bob Barker. Yeah.
Oh no, no, no. You did really good. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay. I pulled three cards and it's really, really, really interesting for us for the end of this. Clarity and trust. Clarity, confusion, and trust. So don't get into confusion. Just trust in the clarity that everything will start clearing up. They're like, Sheila, when? I don't know. I'm not in charge of the time frame, but I do know that it's coming. I do know that we're going to get clarity. I mean, everything that we think of that happens in this, especially in this country, we think that's it. Democracy is gone. And then something wonderful comes out of it. Every time so far, we've gotten something. I mean, look, we have ignited the Gen Z, the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, 19, 20, 20, and all the way up to like 32. We have ignited their soul to participate in this country, something I've never seen in my life. And they are like, you're like the Republicans, their thought process, they're wanting everything to be this way. It is dying with the younger generation. You guys will die, and the younger generation is going to come up, and they're going to be the ones that are being in charge, and they will not take your stuff with them. So they're not getting to the younger generation, which is going to take over this country from the get-go, which I'm happy. I'm happy for the first time. I think we're going to be okay. It's just going to take a couple of years or so. So,
Yeah.
what do you got?
I have the Two of Pentacles.
Oh,
So, but what's weird, Sheila, is when the immediate as I drew it, I almost felt I felt a little selfish about it because this almost feels like me dealing with my first read and trying to either whether it's either a channel or follow spirit or whatever it is over my normal filtered line of thinking. And doing this with you for the first time. So I suppose it's a bit of a balancing and juggling act, trying to facilitate those voices
yes.
somehow, and for those reads. Interesting. More of the Six of Pentacles. So I do, so I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is I think what you do is so cool because at the end of the day, you're sharing your gifts to help people, right? To help people at large and to never forget how you're serving them. And I think the positivity and optimism and the light and showing that folks still have that light within themselves too. And you're reinforcing that every time you do what you do, Sheila. So that's what I got. And then I don't even know, is this the Three of Pentacles? The Three of Pentacles. And this, why is this spooking me for some reason?
Because you have a team. You're joining our team, honey. You're joining the ranks of us. You're up there with us. That sounded like condescending, but that's not how I meant it.
No. Now I'm wondering if this is is there some weird ceremony that I'm going to be taking part in soon?
No, we're not gonna field dress a cat. Joke. That's a joke for cat lovers. That's a joke. Joke.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, fascinating. It's amazing what goes through your mind in an instant, just like that, just by the influence of the cards and the topic at hand. It's pretty amazing.
Yes. Well, welcome to the fold. I knew you had it in you.
You brought me there, Sheila.
I saw it. I saw the light.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being patient with me.
Oh, of course. So yes, if you have made it this far, thank you so much, and give a warm welcome to Corey. I think he has a long-lived what does he call it, career or following, I don't know, in this and in what we do, and I think it's been in him the whole time.
Well, I would love to do this again with you sometime, Sheila, and then also have you on Bridge Cape Ann some point too. We need to hear from you.
Yes,
more is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, we'll have to, if you can do. I get off of work at 4 my time, so I can do anything after that, and then on Saturdays and Sundays too. So
awesome, good to know.
If you wanted to do something during the weekend, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep everyone posted.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Any last words from you, Corey?
No, well, I just thank you for all your help in setting this up today, and cheers to all of your followers for being there, because Sheila needs you as much as you need her, and I think it's that symbiotic relationship is super important. And I think the biggest thing that I've gained in YouTubing for this last little while now is how beautiful these communities are, that are sort of, it's so comforting and encouraging and there for one another and trying to help each other get through whatever they're getting through in life. And I love the live chat aspect and seeing folks become friends, not only online but offline as well. So, and this is just a continuation of that. Like, it's great to be able to call you a friend and get to know you a little bit better. So that's super exciting to me. So I just thanks again for everything, and I'm looking forward to having this relationship grow.
Yes, absolutely. And then you get to watch everybody comment on how great you were.
Yeah, I'll watch that 2 or 3 times, I think.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.